Yay! Hello, everyone. Welcome to the lecture. I know it's Wednesday. I hate that it's this late. I mean, I guess we had a holiday on Monday, so and then yesterday I went to record, but I couldn't. There was some freezing up, and it was super annoying. But hopefully, here we are. But this is my lunch break because it doesn't matter. But we have limited time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight to it. What I'm talking about today. Um, let's see. Let me share my PowerPoint with you. There we go. Okay. Okay. Today we're talking about paragraphs and using quotes. You are converting your outline to a rough draft. Well, I call it a first draft. Okay. You're going to take each of your points from your outline, and you're going to fill that in with completed paragraph versions. Okay. And when we use this method of having an outline, you can essentially write each paragraph of your outline um, individually. You don't need to sit down and like write your essay from beginning to end. You follow along with your outline, and you essentially look at each part of your outline being its own individualized paragraph, and you attack one at a time. All right. So this is how your paragraphs should function. All this is with the exception of your anecdotes. You know, the first paragraph of your essay is anecdotes, and this doesn't really need to follow. What I'm about to discuss isn't really about your anecdote. Your anecdote is a short story, so you should be just writing your story as it is. But for the three other paragraphs, your definition paragraph, your exemplification paragraph, and your conclusion, this is kind of how the paragraphs should flow. Okay. And this is the way that body paragraphs in general should always be written. So I call the perfect paragraph. So once you master the paragraph, the body paragraph, then you master the essay, because an essay is just a collection of paragraphs. Okay. There are three parts to a paragraph: the claim, the support, and the analysis. And it should pretty much flow that way. You will have your main one idea for that paragraph, and then you will provide some support, maybe like I said, direct quotes, which I'm going to show you how to insert today. Or maybe it's a paraphrase of a quote, or it's some examples. And then you have your analysis, which is your discussion. The claim is the main idea that's being made in the paragraph. It is the one idea that a writer wants their readers to understand and know. There's only one claim in a paragraph. The rest of the paragraph is just proving and convincing the audience that the claim being made is legitimate and believable. And it should be about 20% of your paragraph. It's the first sentence. You should try to make your claim in that one first sentence of the paragraph. And by reading that claim, that complete sentence, I know what the whole paragraph is going to be about. The second part is the support, and that can be contextual support, which is like summary. It can be quotes. It is, you only want to use just the right amount of quotes. The whole paragraph cannot be a quote. That's nope, 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 nope. We're not doing that. The quote should just be long enough, and it should just be short enough to discuss the main point you're making. But that's it, though. The support isn't what wins over your audience. Okay. So therefore, it is not the most important part of the paragraph. You need it, but it is not the centerpiece of the paragraph. It should only constitute about 30% of your overall paragraph. Okay, which means that half your paragraph is the claim and the support, and the whole other half is what we call the analysis, the explanation. 50% of your paragraph or more should be analysis. Okay. So if you have a really long quote, which you shouldn't have, but if you do, then you need to have a really long analysis. This is where you explain You connect how you prove how your support achieves your claim, and you explain everything. As I say here, it's where your paragraph wins or loses. If you don't have a very good analysis, then you won't convince your reader. And I'm your reader, so you want to convince me. You want to have a very strong explanation. Okay. Here's an example. So I'm going to read to you this paragraph. This is a student response. Okay. This is a paragraph here about the speech from Madame Albright. Albright, having gotten the gears in the minds of the audience turning on what they maybe can do, what they maybe can do regarding women's rights, follows up with a series of personal anecdotes of what women across the world are doing. Women in Sarajevo, thank you, that she personally met are reaching across ethnic lines. Women in Burundi reach out to prevent other Rwandan genocide. Women in Guatemala and Burma challenging the patriarchy and being thrown in prison. One might think that these examples serve a minor effect, but in fact, these anecdotes are very powerful. Being the Secretary of State, Albright is an imposing figure in the eyes of her audience, and they know her anecdotes are stories of unforgettable encounters and experiences of a strong woman. The personal feel brought by Albright sends a message to her audience that this is real, a movement is happening, women are stepping across the globe. Even better, Albright selected nations going through conflict and devastation, and women rising from the shattered remnants of society, a story that brings her audience to tears of joy and pride, knowing that the women were standing up to injustices everywhere. More importantly, the hidden feelings conjuring up in the minds of the audience is that if they can do it, we can too. These anecdotes are like the stories of the underage, the poor, oppressed, rising to make a difference, anecdotes that strike home within the hearts of the women sitting and listening to Albright's speech. Great. Okay. So for this, the claim. The claim is that first sentence. Albright, having gotten the gears in the minds of the audience, turning on what they maybe can do regarding women's rights, follows up with a series of personal anecdotes of what women across the world are doing. The specific support is some references to the piece that this is talking about. These lines about the women across the world and what they are doing. These are very specific examples. This is the support. And then all this was the analysis explaining what she is doing and what she's trying to accomplish and the impact that her speech has on women across the world. That's the analysis. So if we were to highlight these, it would look like this. This is her claim, the yellow part. The green is her support. And the rest is analysis, explanation, interpretation. Okay? That is the meat of your paragraph. There will be people, I know for a fact, there's going to be students who they will make a claim and then they'll have a really long quote and then just a little bit of explanation. I have a lot of students who reverse this. They'll have their quote will be this long, and then their analysis will be 2 lines. That's incorrect. Okay, you need to have a small amount of support or reference summary, and then a much more longer segment of analysis and explanation. Okay. Now, in your paper, you're supposed to use a quote. You can use a summary, but you will need to cite your summary regardless, okay? What I go over here is still will apply to you even if you're just summarizing. You just don't have to use quotation marks if you're summarizing. But it'd be great if you try to use an actual quote from your paper, from your outside source, okay? But when you are using quotes, okay, commas go inside of quotation marks. So for example, this would be an incorrect sentence. In the abortion chapter, quotation mark, comma, Mistel argues the cruel and inhumane exploitation of forced labor. You need to pull this comma inside. All right. So it reads this. In the abortion chapter, Mattel argues the cruel and inhumane exploitation of forced labor. We have this comma right here. Example 2. Judge Alito believes that Roe versus Wade could be struck down because the original reasoning was exceptionally weak. This period, this should go right here. All right, it should not be on the outside, it should be on the inside, just like that. There we go. Okay. All right, so titles and quotation marks. Titles of short stories, poems, articles, songs, and episodes of TV shows go inside quotation marks, like Story of an Hour, The Road Not Taken, Understanding Chopin. All of these, we have quotation marks and then commas. Titles of books, films, magazines, newspapers, albums, TV shows, etc. Okay, they're written in italics. We have here like if you're writing this past assignment, the abortion chapter is the name of the chapter, the abortion chapter, quotation marks, from, and then the title of the book that's from is in italics. Allow me to retort. So when you are citing, when you are using, okay, let's see here. Hold on one second. Okay, so you need to make sure that when you're using your quotes, you want to integrate that quote, okay? You need to make sure that you mention the author's name in the sentence, either directly, like in this example right here. Mattel explains how white men committed atrocious acts of violently raping black slaves in the past and were fine to allow, quote, their own children conceived in hate be born into bondage, okay? Where then we have a parentheses and a page number. If there is a page number from the quote, if you use the book, which some of you are using books, I got emails about it, then include a page number where that quote came from. If you're not using a book and there's no page number, then you will have nothing here. If you don't mention the author's name in the sentence, then you put their last name here in this parentheses, just like this. Okay. Someone emphasize, look, you write third person, except for your anecdotes. Your anecdote, write in first person, obviously, definitely. Okay. During your essay, try to write always in present tense, unless when talking about something that happened in the past within the story. For example, when Judge Alito discusses Roe versus Wade, he tries to point out the illogic of the original decision. That you see, discusses, not discussed. He tries, not tried. All right. And then make sure you set up proper MLA formatting. Some people are still doing this incorrectly. Now, one thing I want to emphasize with the MLA formatting is everyone's, make sure you do the last name and page numbers, your first and last name, my name, the class, the date, the due date, the title. Look, technically, MLA formatting, it uses left alignment, but I prefer justify. So look, either one's correct, technically, but see how this is ugly? To me, this is ugly. It's straight, nice, straight on this side. Then over here, it's all curvy, like a mountain range. To me, that's just ugly. This is justify alignment, and it's straight down. It's straight down. I can show you that. Let's see. How about I was just sharing my screen? I feel like I was not. Let me show you some justify before these kids come in. Okay. vocab, nope. Okay, so this right here is justified, okay? See how this is straight down and this is straight down, okay? That is right here, justify. A lot of people do this, they do a line left. And you have straight down, and then you have jagged. Okay, to me that's ugly. If you highlight it all and go up to this one and click and click. Oh my God, technology sucks. There you go. Finally, it worked. Then it is called justified, and it and it looked really nice. Okay, try doing that, and it looks better personally. But I'm not gonna take points off if it's not justified. All right, y'all. I'm gonna stop here. That's pretty much the end of the notes. There are some more things that you can look at in terms of how to enter end quotes. Okay, which I do hope that you do. All right. But if you have other questions, let me know. All righty. Bye-bye.